Hey, I'm just following orders. Let me get one of those slow motion pictures, bro. One of those slow motion pictures.
You gotta shoot at 60 frames per second.
Come on, man.
They say they wanna hit that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move and coach shit. Cause if they make the wrong move and coach shit. You see me, they like, ooh, keep on stopping. I'm on my way up and they ain't gon' stop it. They say they wanna hit that raw shit. Coming up, I'm about to bullshit. They see me, they like, ooh, keep on stopping. I'm on my body, real niggas right beside me. Damn right, I brought my army, going up like a rocket, and can't nobody stop me. These niggas garbage, so watch your mouth, boy. Coming all black, slithering house, call me mouth, boy. I'm off the hip like a cowboy. I'm a king, you should bow, boy. Shorty like, damn, man, you cut up. Nothing I can handle. 144 in the booth, going Rambo. Niggas do you dirty like a stick in a bando. That's why I play the corner like a bum with a banjo. I'ma lead by example. Ooh, keep on sobbing, got this bitch off the hand. Got the juice, got the drip, about to hit the bitch with the salt. It ain't rap, it's assault. Can't taste a bitch unless you with the coke. They say they wanna hit that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move and coach shit. Cause if they make the wrong move and coach shit. Hey! One way, one way, one way, one way, one way. Coming up on my
I do it how a veteran be. You better than me. I'm Reggie at the edge of the key. It's all money, no honey. Think you settle and see. You locked up, fucked up, and it's back to the streets. It's One West. You can check the residency. I reside with soldiers died on the soles of their feet. Cause there's death before designer. Ain't no coward in me. Cause I'm cold as a bitch's shoulder. You ain't calling a week. Get the cooking on this beat. Hope you like it well done. Got them killers rolling with me and they all red rum, red rum, red rum. Got you fuckers scared some. Get the banging on this beat till my fucking head numb. Black Glock, red drums, black and yellow air ones. Homie, you ain't got a vest. I suggest you wear one.
Told these niggas we was going up. They was doing a lot of talking. Now these niggas ain't saying shit.
Feeling like a legend in this shit. Lil nigga, I'm past veteran. Never feeling third. Lil nigga, I'm past second. Guns, I gotta have them all like Ash Ketchum. Shotty break a nigga ribs up like his wife left him. We all stepping. Kill you with kindness cause I'm dead nice. That 5'7" put you 6 feet, not talking height. That judge giving out 5 but you doing life. These hands are rude GPS. A mean right. That's mean right. We build different, you know the vibes. And we stamped it authentic, we notarized. I keep a 144 because I know a cod. Noah's Ark, you know I'm with animals when we flowing by. We back again, no cap when I'm with Cap again. Yeah, they say they want smoke until we matching them. Everything righteous, so you know when we get back at them, you get hit up with a K, but no acronym.
They say they wanna hit that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move and coach shit. Cause if they make the wrong move and coach shit. You see me, they like, ooh, keep on stopping. I'm on my way up and they ain't gon' stop it. They say they wanna hit that raw shit. Coming up, I'm about to bullshit.
My love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like stamps and I can't let no holder lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, all they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying. This shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Circle up and stay alert. Another cop just stretch the nigga. He a demon, this an exorcism. Watch I bless the nigga. You took that oath in blood, then you know I'm gon' get active with you. From the opposition, I see vision. Let me paint the picture. Rappers claim they spin, I ain't listening. Is in fact if revenge was a woman, now I scope that bitch like Jacob. So Tower War, we gon' run the summer. It's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers, hell should've never kidnapped my family. I can't just do that. Bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it young baby. How you real triggering on them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? What he saying something, I ain't hear him. This shit light. It ain't about who got this gun, it's about who gon' up that pipe first. I turn a bad situation to a game changer. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raised up the chain frame. Shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand that feeds you, you won't never get that hand back. He bitchin' about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody wanna be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. I'm a certified woman's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, out with that hollow sign, yeah, this the rim accord. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still about my brain, still I think that's all that I do. The way I get that boy lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his game, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
Israel, the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, under commanding General Yahanna, presents the Lord's 55th annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 55th annual Passover is rapidly approaching. Commanding General Yahanna is calling for all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to remember what the Lord did for us by saving us from our oppressors and choosing us to be a special people unto Him, the real Jews and Israelites. Passover will be held in Durham, North Carolina. Pay your Passover fee. Anyone 17 years of age or older must pay $200. Come and enjoy fresh lamb, unleavened bread, and the Spirit of Christ. Can't wait to see you all there, Israel. Shalom.
Cabins on streets and corners, all is feeling righteous. Real particular, nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and war like apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us.
I.S.U.P.K, we out here in Baltimore, you know what I mean? We was having an amazing food and clothing drive out here, feeding the people, clothing the people, you understand? Getting love for the brothers and sisters out here.
But that was my shit. I'm in you. Got my nigga Rewan with me. But that was my niggas to the be an honor. You know what I'm saying? Under commanding General Yahanna. That for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Look, hey, straight off the top, I love all of my niggas. That shit ain't gon' stop till we on top and we ballin' my nigga. We be fly as fuck, you know them bitches be stalking my niggas. That shit'll never change and it's the same with all my niggas. City to city, I should be at home. That's what my ribs say. But bitch, I'm grown, I'm in these streets and closed caption. Niggas know we bout that action. If a nigga play with me, then my Hakim gon' let him have it. Hey, think you the shit, this truth, this shit. Nigga play, I let that Ruger hit. Get on them tracks, they be like, who is this? I'm rude with it, ain't got no manners. All them pussy niggas talk this shit. Yeah, I know they can't stand us, but we U.P.K, Louisiana, bitch, that's what
All right, if you can hear me loud and clear, type of 1 in the chat. If you can hear me loud and clear, type of 1 in the chat. So I know we're good to go. Right. Shalom, sis. I.S.U.P.K. Shalom, sis. All right, I see Maria. The water. Shalom. We got ones on YouTube. You on Facebook, and you can hear me loud and clear. Type of 1 in the chat. I see you there. Shalom, brother. Water. If you on Facebook and you can hear me, go ahead, type that 1 in the chat. If you on Facebook and you can hear me, type 1 in the chat. Shalom, Black Dazzle. I see you, sis. Make sure we up on Facebook. Shalom, Akira. Shalom, Yahweh Shemaka. Blessing and Shah, sis. Well, on Facebook. Shapala, I see you, sis. Shalom. Anybody on Facebook and you can hear me, type of 1. Make sure we're good on Facebook. Hold on. See what we good. We Tawab on YouTube. Make sure we Tawab here on Facebook. Mm-hmm. Make sure we Tawab here on Facebook. Right. Test 1 2 1 2. 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 All right. Let's clap it up. Let's clap it up. Damn right, Israel. Damn right. Shalom. Yahweh Bahashim. Yahweh Shai Barak Thumb to the brothers. Yahweh Shamar Alafan Bahashim Yahweh Shai to the sisters. We are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, out of Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yahanna. We are not affiliated with no other Israelite group, Christian organization. We teach the truth according to the Bible. What is the truth? The water priest. There's only one truth. There is not more than one truth. If it were, then it's not the truth. You understand? Everybody can't have the truth. A lot of people believe that, well, y'all, you have the truth and we have the truth too. They have the truth and we also have the truth. That's not how the Bible works. That's not how the God of the Bible works. He operated like that. He always chose one man, and through that man he chose is if you have the truth or not. You understand? The Lord chose Moses. If you didn't follow Moses, follow Joshua after Moses, you didn't have the truth. You didn't follow Christ, you didn't have the truth. If you didn't follow Peter after Christ, and then Paul, you didn't have the truth. Elijah, all throughout, you'll see that you had to follow the man that God chose. And the truth is that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are God's chosen people, and we should be following Commanding General Yahanna in the I.S.U.P.K. because he is the man that God has chosen. You understand? Now, of course, you don't have to believe that. You can just be an enemy to the I.S.U.P.K. And you'll see how the Lord deals with his enemies. You understand? There's many scriptures throughout the Bible to show you that enemies of the Lord never prosper. You understand? The Bible also says our oppressor is the devil. That word devil simply means deceiver. The Bible calls the oppressor a deceiver because he has lied about everything. The oppressor has lied about absolutely everything. Right now, many of you are upset, all on my TikTok, upset because I did an interview with my grandmother, and she's talking about how she can't understand how you would be in an interracial relationship because how can they understand you? Who can understand you better than you? Brother, there are so many people that are upset at this woman choosing to love her people. And now I thought love was love, right? I thought you can love whoever you want to love. That's what everybody says. When the LGBTQ community talks about their orientation and who they're with, it's always love is love. You can't help who you love. Well, why are you upset that we choose to love our own people? I know why. It comes all back to the oppression being the devil, him being a deceiver in life. Because you've been indoctrinated with the philosophy of Christianity, the Roman Catholic Church, you believe now that we can't choose to love our own. Like we have to love everybody. And to exclude somebody is not love. Well, I'll show you the Bible first that God doesn't love everybody. And then I'll show you that interracial marriage is wrong. And I'm preaching officer 5,000 Chaazaq Imad. I've got preaching officer 500 Tayak rocking and rolling with me. You understand? This is I.S.U.P.K. Washington, D.C. And the topic of tonight's class is interracial marriage is against the Bible and destroys our community. Interracial marriage is against the Bible and destroys our community. You understand? Any questions you may have, type your questions in the chat. We'll get your questions. Go ahead, Shapat. Right. Oh, so you're gonna be right there with me then. We're gonna be right there with me. Lord, that's too wild. That is too wild because, brother, I'm about to get it in. We about to get it in. Lord allow. Officer one, Shalom Yahweh Shabbat. He said, can I get a breakdown on Revelations 22:1? Absolutely. Let's go to it. Let's go to Revelation chapter 22, verse 1. Shalom Yahweh Shabbat. Paula. Shalom Maria. I see you. If y'all just tuning in, make sure you like and share that stream. I know this is a very touchy topic. Shalom Adolphus last. I know this is a very touchy topic because it affects probably every single family. You understand? Interracial marriage is a touchy topic because it affects probably every family. Matter of fact, I'll prove it. Type. What do I want? We'll just do yes or no's right now. We won't be fancy. Type a yes in the chat if you have interracial relationships in your family. You understand? Meaning, if you have anybody in your family that's with somebody that's outside our race, type a 1 in the chat. If you don't, type a no. Excuse me. Type a yes or no. If you have interracial relationships within your family, type a yes or no. Shalom, Isaiah. Shalom, sis. Dazzle 1. Yes. Apollo, yes. Right? If I was in the chat, I'll be typing the yes. If you have interracial relationships within your family, type a yes. If you don't, type a no. So your Kyle said 1, yes to yes. Monty said yes. Gosh, Counselor. Go ahead, Shabbat. Who's that? Well, 1 West. Oh yeah. If I was in the chat, I'd be typing a yes a couple times. Princess Isaiah says yes. Once again, this is not something that's foreign. This is something where you can look within your own family and you can find this. And that's why this topic, along with the LGBTQ topic, is so touchy. Okay, Officer Kaash, I see you, brother, out in Delaware. Many people don't like to talk about things that directly apply to somebody that they love. It's hard to talk about something that's so close to home. Well, the problem is, if you can't talk about it, you're compromised. If you can't say right and wrong because it might hurt someone's feelings, you're compromised. The Lord told us not to do that. The Lord told us to speak the truth. That's what he told us to do. Shalom, Kana, I see you. You understand? President Marshall said, with the emergence of marriage to AI and homosexuality, I must pick my battle. I don't know what he means to AI. With the emergence of marriage to AI. Is that, I don't know what you mean by that, Princess Martha, right? Give me Shapat. What, the Revelation? Yeah, we about to get that in just a second. Give me Isaiah 58:1. Then we'll go to the one's question. Harun said the sound on YouTube is not too great. Okay, let's see. I'm kind of going in and out. I don't know what's going on with that. Well, let's see. Let me know. We'll make some adjustments. We're still doing it. Let me know. Let's go to Isaiah 51 and 58 and 1. Yeah, read, priest. Mm-hmm. Do what? Cry aloud. This is what the Bible told us to do. The Bible told us, God told us to cry aloud. That's what he told us to do. You wonder why we get on those street corners. Why are they always yelling? Why are they always hollering? How come they always saying that? You look at us as the people who say things that would normally never be said. I got into a full debate with some of my family members about stop speaking about TD Jakes. They want me to stop speaking on TD Jakes being a nasty bastard, being swallowed up. You don't want me to speak on that. You didn't want me to speak on Eddie Long. The problem is God said to cry aloud, to speak out, to raise your voice and proclaim this. Keep reading. Spare not. When it says spare not, this is telling us that when you crying aloud, when you're teaching the truth, when you're saying the things that are right and wrong, you cannot be biased on who in your family is this and that. And well, I don't agree because my cousin is married to a white man and they got biracial mixed kids, and you can't be biased because now somebody that you know it applies to. That's called sparing somebody. The Bible says, cry aloud, spare not. You shouldn't spare anybody. Right is right and wrong is wrong. And that mentality is the exact reason why child molestation and rape thrives in our community. You know why? You know why you grew up not feeling comfortable to tell somebody around you that you were being touched? You want to know why, as a kid, you knew nobody was going to believe you? Because we have a culture within our communities, within the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community, where you don't tell the truth based on who did it. We spare the excuse me. We don't speak the truth, and we spare the person based off of who did it. If the person that touched you was somebody important or somebody well known, you knew no one was going to believe you. The pastor touching you, or you don't, your mom's boyfriend or husband is touching you, or your own father, or your own mother, your own sister, your own cousin. I don't want to break up the family. I don't want to cause conflict. I don't want to be, it's reasons why a child believes that they shouldn't speak up. And it all boils down to that we have created a type of environment in our community where the truth is placed on the back burner for convenience, for feelings, for everything that we shouldn't put it on the back burner for. The truth should always become first. God told us to cry aloud, spare not. Keep reading.
Like voice.
Lift up thy voice like a trumpet. That's what we're doing. Don't ask why we always loud and why we speak so aggressive. That's what the Lord told us to do. That's the job of a priest and prophet. Keep reading. The Lord said, show my people, God's people, the children of Israel, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We're not just out there crying aloud and hollering. That's not what we're out there doing. We're out there crying aloud and telling Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, God said not to do this. God said not to do that. You can't eat this. You can't sleep with them. You can't touch this. You can't say that. You can't do this. You can't do that. That's what the Bible told us to do, to show God's people their transgressions, their sins. And tonight, if you would allow, if you stick around long enough, I'm going to show you a great transgression, a great sin within our community, interracial marriage. And listen, as we going into these scriptures and going into this, you can't be biased and now try to spare the truth, and spare the truth because of you knowing somebody personally. This has nothing to do with your personal life or any personal thing. This is the truth. Right. So now let's go to Revelation 22:1. Mm-hmm. Sparta said the sound is still going. No. Let's see. Mike 3.0. Yeah, that's 3.0. So don't know what's going on with that. Let me try. If y'all can hear me, type on one in the chat. All right, let's see. Let me see something. Hold on. Test 1, 2, test 1, 2. Test 1, 2, test 1, 2. Which one? It was on this one. All right, let's see. No sweat. Let's try this one. So now I said, Talaki, sir, question. I was wondering, why did God allow Esther to marry a heathen king to save Israel? I know he's against it. So why did he allow it? That's an excellent question. We'll go into that as well. So now let's read Revelations 22:1 for Officer Nawan Yahanna. 2:1. Book of Revelation. Pure river of life. Yes, sitting out of the throne of God, the Lamb. In the midst of the street, in the midst of the street, and when we
side of the river was there, the tree of life, which 12 manner of fruits, and the leaves of the tree were for the healing.
What this is describing right here is the breakdown for the when you read Adam and Eve and that tree of the knowledge of good and evil. That's not talking about literal tree. That is talking about, it's a metaphor referring to the constellations that the Lord showed Adam. A lot of people don't understand the law existed before Moses. Adam was the first man to be in the truth, and the Lord gave Adam the law through the constellations. And that's why when you read it bear its fruit every month. Every month you have different constellations. And through those constellations is how the Lord communicated with Adam. You understand? So when it talks about the river that flows from the throne, the, 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 the trees alongside this river, it's not literal. It's talking about these constellations in the heavens that the Lord used to show Adam, you ride a horse, you don't eat a horse. You eat a cow, you don't ride a cow. You can't eat shrimp, pork, crab, and lobster. Choose this person and not this person to start a family with. The laws existed with Adam. You understand? You can sacrifice this, but you can't sacrifice that. Excuse me. You can sacrifice this. You can present this as an offering. You can present this as an offering. You can't present this as an offering. All these things existed back to Adam, and this picture is just talking about that. You understand? The tree of life is referring to these constellations, and it was for the healing of the nations. These constellations were how Adam knew to progress people. When I say progress people, meaning without the law, we lived as animals. We lived as the beast. Right? So that's what it's talking about. Keep reading now.
Verse, and there shall be no more curse, but the throne of God and the Lamb shall be in it, and his servants shall serve him.
Right. So this is talking about, once again, we read about Revelations 22:1. It's describing these constellations and having that, when it says the knowledge of the tree, just like today, when you say, I have food for thought, it's not talking about literal food. This fruit that's on this tree is ideology, it's information. And the tree that Adam and Eve ate from was a tree, that information that the Lord said that we should partake in. What is that information? The information of the heathens, the culture, the philosophy, the ideology of the heathens. This right here would be the fruit of Christianity. Even if you're a Muslim, they call it literally the fruit of Islam. What is the fruit of Islam? It's not talking about mangoes and bean pies and dates and raisins. It's not talking about literal fruit. When it's about the fruit of Islam, it's talking about certain principles, certain ideologies and beliefs. And that's what it's talking about in the Bible when it says every tree bears its fruit. You understand? Go ahead, Shapat.
No, sometimes it's, it means, speaking of the water that's coming out of the
Read that part again.
Revelation chapter 20. He shewed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out with God.
If you ask about the waters here, is it referring to the people? I just heard him break this down. That's going to check. This is not the water here. It's not referring to the people. I believe it's referring to something else. Let me double check and get back with you on that one. I don't want to misspeak on that. But the trees that surround this is referring to the information, which is the constellation. That's how the Lord used it. When you look at Abraham came from the people who studied the stars as well. They turned it into a religion. And that's why the Lord told Abraham to lead the religion in the land of your fathers. And the Lord blessed Abraham with the information, the truth. Us reading the stars is age old. It comes from the Lord speaking to Adam, giving him the truth. Go ahead, Shapak.
Because I know speaks of, you know, like water.
Right.
You know what I mean? I want to know what's truth.
I believe that's what it is, but I don't want to misspeak. Just like when you said this is the living, when Christ spoke about the living water, there's different contexts of water. It's usually one of the three: actual water, the truth, or people. You understand, the people. So that's why I say, from my memory, damn, I'm starting to move tonight. From my memory, that these waters were talking about the truth. I don't want to misspeak, so let me double check on that. We'll get back to that. Joe D says, if Cain's curse was to not be able to grow a beard, then who is this baloney face today? Where does it say in the Bible that Cain's curse was to not be able to grow a beard, Joe D? What scripture says that? Where did you get that from? Where did you get that from? You understand? Let's go to Ash's question. So now, for those of you that don't know, the Feast of Purim, it was the high holy day we just observed. Give North Carolina and South Carolina a hand. If y'all weren't able to make it down there, you missed out. It was excellent. And let me just say this in front of the entire nation. North Carolina has the best biscuits in the nation, and South Carolina has the best mac and cheese. That's it. You understand? It's not debatable. It's established. You understand? North Carolina has the best biscuits, and South Carolina has the best mac and cheese in the nation of Israel. You understand? Now, if you believe your city, you know, you believe your state is up there, you put your bid in for your state. We'll consider, right? But in North Carolina, celebrate the feast, to observe the Feast of Purim. And the Feast of Purim is a high holy where we observe how the Lord used Esther to save the children of Israel. And the way Esther saved the children of Israel is that she was married to a heathen king. And she used her beauty and femininity and her obedience to her uncle to save Israel when there was an evil, wicked bastard that wanted to unalive us, to kill us. Now, Ash is asking, why did God allow Esther to marry a heathen king to save Israel when he's against interracial marriage? Because Esther, you have to look at the conditions in which Esther was married to the heathen king. Excuse me. Everybody type in the chat. How was Esther married to this heathen king? It's one word. How was Esther married to this heathen king? This Persian Mede king. There's one word. It's not hard. Very simple, very straightforward. It ain't deep or nothing like that. How was Esther married to this heathen king? Well, sex is marriage. That's definitely true. And that's how she definitely got married. What circumstances? That's probably a better way I should ask. What circumstances existed for this Israelite sister to be married to this heathen king? Captivity. The water, gosh, there you go. She was in captivity. Yeah, you have to look at the context, and this is not justifying it. I'm just showing you it's the circumstances that existed. If you want to understand it, think about us here in America. Many sisters married or were forced to lay down with these white men. Say it again. Yeah, not that one. It's working. Okay, Most High Christ. The Lord is with him. Most High Christ. Right? Think of it today. Think of it when our people were in slavery and the slave master came and he picked a woman. It didn't matter that she was already married to a brother. Didn't matter that she didn't want to marry him. Didn't matter that she may have been underage. Didn't matter that she may have been whatever. It didn't matter. Circumstances that existed was us being in captivity. You understand? And it's the same thing that happened with Esther. Our people being in captivity underneath the Persian Mede Empire. This heathen king seen the beauty of Esther, and he did what any oppressor does when when we're in their captivity. He chose to be with Esther, and Esther didn't have a choice being in captivity, being in captivity. You understand? Now, this is not to say now that we don't have a choice. We've always had a choice, but look at the reason why we were in captivity. We were in captivity because when we did have a choice, we were choosing to do that anyway. That's the whole point. We ended up in these various captivities is because when we did have a choice to say, I'm not going to sleep with heathens because that's against our culture. We were violating our culture, violating God's law to do it. And so the Lord gave us up unto all our vile affections. He gave us up to these different gods. While we were free and had our own land, we could have just chose to serve God. But what did we do? We chose to serve idols. So what did the Lord do? He turned us over to those idols. He turned us over. When I say turn us over to those idols, of course, all those idols aren't real. They have no power. They're not dead or alive. When I say turn us over to those idols, how did the Lord turn us over to the idols that we were serving? That's how. By putting us underneath the people who those idols belong to. You want to love that Ankh and that Akhenaten and Nefertiti so goddamn much. Well, the Lord will say, listen, you want to serve that instead of serving me? Don't even worry about it. He'll put you in captivity now underneath the Egyptians. You want to love and serve white Jesus so bad instead of following what God says? No sweat. I'll put you in captivity underneath these oppressors. And that's what happened to us. And because of it, this poor sister, you understand, unfortunately was married to this heathen king. But in this messed up relationship and this terrible thing, the Lord used Esther and her obedience and loyalty to her people to save Israel. What's another situation that would have been unlawful but the Lord used? What's another famous situation that is unlawful but the Lord used? And then goes to the topic. Moses. Moses was a Hebrew who lived as an Egyptian. So Moses had an Ethiopian wife. And when his sister spoke against and tried to get Moses to leave his Ethiopian wife, the Lord punished his sister. Because one thing you have to understand, the Lord is always going to honor is sex is marriage, and marriage is forever. But we'll get more into that tonight. You understand? Ash, if you have any questions, type your question in the chat. If not, we can get into it right now. Right? Let's go to it. Let's go to with me. Let's go to Numbers, chapter 12. Let's start at verse 1. Now you believe, many of you believe that God is it can't. There's no scripture that's speaking against interracial marriage. You believe that the God of the Bible couldn't possibly be against two people coming together based off of their race. You're just ignorant to the Bible, and you're indoctrinated through Christianity because this is the culture of the Bible. It's all throughout the Bible. We'll start here, famously with Moses. Read what you got, support.
Very spake against Moses, Ethiopia, whom he had heard. He had heard Ethiopia.
So now hold up. Now this is a major cut too. A lot of you say that some broad told me, well, you know, the Ethiopian Bible is the oldest Bible in the world. I don't believe that. And if it was the oldest Bible in the world, that doesn't make the Ethiopians God's people. We're reading right here, God's people, Moses, Aaron, and Miriam. You understand, from the tribe of Levi. Aaron and Miriam, Moses' brother and sister, were speaking against Moses because he married an Ethiopian, which lets you know, even back then, our people understood we are not African. We're both dark-skinned people, but there's a difference. So much so that Moses' brother and sister were upset that Moses had the nerve to marry this goddamn Ethiopian woman. Of course, Moses married this woman before he knew the truth. So here's the point you gotta understand that people try to twist. Some broad on TikTok try to say that this scripture, the Lord didn't punish Miriam because she spoke against. I forgot what the damn she said. Keep reading, right? So now Moses' brother and sister, they're speaking against this Ethiopian woman. Why are Miriam and Aaron upset with Moses for marrying an Ethiopian woman? And why are they speaking against it? We got to remember, this is Moses. This is the man that the Lord used to part the Red Sea, to perform miracles, to deliver them out of the nation of Egypt. This is who the Lord chose. But Miriam and Aaron were so upset that Moses married an Ethiopian woman that they spoke against it. Why did they speak against this Ethiopian woman that he married? Mm-hmm.
They said, that the Lord indeed so he came to Moses, that he has spoken also by us, and the Lord heard it. Now the man Moses was above all the men which were upon the face of the earth. And the Lord spake suddenly unto Moses, unto Aaron, and unto Miriam, come out of ye, come out of three, unto the tabernacle of the congregation. They three came out. And the Lord came down in the pillar of the cloud, stood in the door of the tabernacle. Aaron and Miriam came forth. And he said, hear thou my words. Let me be a prophet among you. I, the Lord, will make myself known unto him, and will speak unto him in a good. Moses is not so, who is faithful in all my. Moses is not so, who is faithful in all my.
Let's keep that at verse 9.
Okay. Verse 9. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against him, and he departed. Departed and behold, Miriam became white snow.
Miriam became what?
White snow.
If the people in the Bible are not black, how do you become white if you're already white? The Bible just said Miriam became leprous, white as snow, as a punishment. If the Jews look like the people in Israel today, this could not have happened unless the Jews looked like us. People that live in Israel that claim to be the Jews are not the biblical descendants of the Jews. There's no Miriam could have been white and she was turned white, but that doesn't happen. You understand? Leprosy today is what they would call vitiligo. The only people that you see get vitiligo are who? Dark-skinned people. Africans get it as well. Our people get it. My uncle has it. You understand? There's a famous model. Her name is Winnie Harlow. She has it. The people that get vitiligo are dark-skinned people because you can see it. It's the removing of pigment. That's what it is. So you know that Moses, Aaron, Miriam, the children of Israel had to have been dark-skinned people, not Africans, because clearly we weren't African. They spoke against this African Moses married, but we were dark-skinned people, and of course you find out we're the children of Israel, who the Bible calls today blacks, Hispanics, and who the world calls today blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Keep reading.
And Aaron looked upon her, and behold, she was leprous. And Aaron said unto Moses, I beseech thee, lay not the sin upon us, where we have done food, and whereon we have sinned. Let her not as one dead, for whom the flesh is cast into, when he consumeth, when he cometh out of the mother's womb.
Right. So now they're praying. They're praying because they see that the Lord punished Miriam. You understand? He punished her because they spoke against Moses having this woman. Here's what you have to understand. God's against interracial marriage. But marriage, once it's done. And that's a hard concept for a lot of brothers and sisters. Brother comes to the truth with his wife, he has to stay with that woman. She can never come to our functions. She can never come around us. At the end of the day. And you are not allowed to tell somebody to break what the Lord said, let no man come in between. Sex is marriage. Yes. What are you saying? Right. But when he said he was born, he said he's wasted away. That's what literally Aaron just said. Don't make her be like that. What you have to understand is sex is marriage. And it's so heavy that even after the sin, you can't break from the marriage. Meaning you can marry a heathen, and the Lord is still looking at you now as you're married. Not leave that person. Now if they leave you, that's something different. But you can't leave your heathen spouse just because you found the truth. Now here's a beautiful thing about brothers. Brothers, you kind of get a little help. The Lord gave you a little out. If you're a brother that came in here with a heathen woman, here's the beauty in this. You can get more women from your nation. Now you sisters that's married to some heathen, some African, like many of you sisters are doing now, you're marrying these Africans, you're marrying these Caucasians. You understand? You're some sister that's married to some heathen and you come in here, don't leave that heathen. You're not allowed to do that. What you should do is serve the Lord so fervently that maybe he can bless you with a brother. How? By getting rid of that heathen. How? There's various ways the Lord, that's up to the Lord. Or he could just say, this is what you can deal with. You chose this heathen, and the heathen never leaves, and you're tied to the heathen. Now your battle is to do the truth and know that you're with the enemy. That could be your battle. But nevertheless, you're not allowed to break marriage. Illuminato said, I don't know why, but the words keep breaking up. Move my head. Sure, I know everybody was saying it's in and out. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on. Right. So now let's go to where the Bible tells us Interracial marriage is wrong. Now, let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 1. Also, around that time, everybody type in the chat 1W and type your tribe in the chat. Understand? If you're in the chat, you watching, type a 1W and type your tribe in the chat. If you know your tribe in Hebrew, type your tribe in the Hebrew. If you don't know it in the Hebrew, type it in English. If you don't know your tribe at all, just say, I don't know my tribe. And Lord allow, we can help you with that tonight. Understand? We don't do this to promote tribalism. We do this to show that the 12 tribes of Israel are in fact coming together like God prophesied they would. Coming together, we're uniting. And clearly the world doesn't want that to happen. I see one was Aparium. I see Maria. Aparium is Hebrew for Ephraim. The tribe of Ephraim are the so-called Puerto Ricans. If you're Puerto Rican, you're black. You understand? I'm going back and forth with everybody on my post because, of course, we're speaking against interracial marriage. So a lot of people, in their lack of understanding, they think that we're saying that only black people can be with black people. Let me help everybody. If you're black, Hispanic, or Native American, you're black. You understand? You're so-called black. When we say black, it's encompassing all 12 tribes, Hispanics and your Native Americans. You understand? The Puerto Ricans are black. I know a lot of you Puerto Ricans, you fighting self-hatred. So a lot of you don't want to believe you're black, like the Dominicans. You don't want to believe you're black. A lot of Hispanics don't want to accept the fact that they are, in fact, black. You are. You come from the bloodline of the 12 tribes of Israel, right? So let me go. Get some. Right? Adolphus last on West Yahawadah. Yahawadah is Hebrew for Judah. The tribe of Judah are your so-called Negroes. So-called Negroes. Luminato Guevara on West Issachar. Issachar, the Hebrew is Yashikar, and that are your Mexicans. La Raza. You understand? The mighty Mexicans. That's the tribe. A lot of you lost and ignorant brothers and sisters are beefing with our Mexican brothers and sisters for coming over here and trying to look for a better life. You're ignorant as hell. If you think the Hispanics are coming over here to take anything from us, we don't have anything worth taking. And you've been duped by the white man and believing you really have a place in this society. If anything, we should be happy the Hispanics are coming here. More of us, we get closer together. Lord allow, we just start speaking. The Lord just make it where we just more of us start speaking Spanish and with the Spanglish and the language starts to mix and we can understand each other a lot more. The language barrier breaks down. What's going to happen is we're going to come together, right? If He will, Gad, the tribe of Gad in the Hebrew is God, and that are your so-called Native American, North American Indians. North American Indians are the tribe of Gad. Baba Prasad, one West Benjamin. Benjamin in the Hebrew is Banyamyan, and that are your West Indians. Your West Indians are the tribe of Benjamin. Black Dazzle, one West Yahawadah. Of course, that's Judah. Akira, one West Yahawadah, that's Judah. Shapat Dayak, Yahawadah, that's Judah. Kawana, Shalom, Yahweh Shemata, Bashim Yahushai, sis. Princess Izarama, one West Shemaiwan. Shemaiwan is Hebrew for Simeon. And the Simeons are the Dominicans, the so-called Dominicans. I know black. You understand? That's y'all. You're black. You're black poppy. You understand? You're black mommy. You're the 12 tribes of Israel, Simeon, Shemaiwan. Right. Officer No One said, how can you help idiots that believe Hispanics aren't black? I'm gonna get to that in just a second. The one. That's an excellent question. And I'm glad you called them what they are. Idiots. Absolute imbeciles. Like, well, let's not go that far. A lot of them are just ignorant. But let's go that far. Now, once you educate them and they reject Hispanics, now they're idiots and imbeciles. But a lot of people, no one, are just ignorant to history. If you are a person that studies history, you have to know that we are the same people. The indigenous Aztecs, the Olmecs, the Incas, understand? And then those of us that came over here during the slave trade, we literally are the same people. If you study history, enough history to know, you'll know that. And the Bible gives that history. Officer no one was lawyer. Lawyer is Hebrew for Levi, and the tribe of Levi are your so-called Haitians. Your so-called Haitians, Sapase. Understand? Officer one said, I say that because I know the breakdown of 12 tribes will be too long. Is it on the way? I got you. Give me 1 second. Jody said, never mind. My bad. I've been listening to too many pages. They were saying some guy named Thoth and his writings from Egypt or something. I guess he has the Cain and Abel story also. Yeah, Jody, I know you're an Edomite, but what you should recognize, Jody, that there's only one place that has the truth. As an Edomite, you should recognize this. It's the I.S.U.P.K. And we can't stop you from watching online. But what I will tell you is you're going to be confused if you go and watch other people now and believe what they're saying. It's going to be full of confusion. Go ahead, Spot. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Our audience, we used to talk about that in the world. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's nonsense. It's confusion. It has nothing to do with the Bible. I will now one West Asher. You understand? The tribe of, Ashar. Ashar is Hebrew for Asher. The tribe of Asher is Colombia to Paraguay. Colombia to Paraguay. Slovakia, Uruguay. Colombia to Uruguay. That's the tribe of Asher today. Shalom, Princess Itarah. Right, so now let's get into it. Let us get into where the Bible speaks against interracial marriage because it's in here. It exists. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 1. Yep, 7 and 1. No sweat, no sweat.
The Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whether thou wilt possess it, and have cast out nations for the Hittites.
So let's slow that right there. What is everybody type in the chat? What is another word for when you read about nation in the Bible? What word do we use today? When you read about nations, what is that word? What does that mean? We use a different word today. What is the word that we use today? That's the same as nations. Bible. That's right. Officer one Allah. That's correct. Like Dazzle says, like you said, unable to hear Officer Shabbat. The jump might have been off. Okay, most high Christ. That's right. Officer one got it. Like Dazzle got it. Flordale got it. When you read about nations in the Bible, the word that we use today is race. You understand? And here's the thing: the reason why the Bible calls them nations is because every race is supposed to have their own nation. And a righteous, in a well-ordered society, every race should have their own land, their own government, their own space. And when I say their own government, of course, when Christ comes back, their own government is going to be underneath our government. You understand? Just like you have governments overseas where the people the people run it, but it's the answer to what the United States does. Right? When Christ comes back, that's how it's going to be. Everybody answers to our law, what we do. But every nation, every race is supposed to have their own land. It was never meant for us to live amongst each other all together. And this what you think is diversity and all that. That's why there's so much conflict. You want real unity? You want real diversity? Stop forcing people to be together. That's how you do it. You can't force people to come together when the Lord designed it for it to not happen like that. What happens when you try to force the wolf with the sheep? The wolf devours the sheep. You can't force what the Lord made to be separate to come together. And the Lord decided for it to be separate. That's the whole reason why the Lord is telling us when we come into the land to cast out these other nations, these other races of people. Now, if God was a God of everybody coming together in all love, why would he tell us to cast out all these other races of people? I thought God was all love. I thought the whole purpose was for us to come together and kumbaya. And what you'll find out is that's not of God. Never intended for that. He doesn't want that. He doesn't like that. The Lord is telling us when we come into a land to cast out these other nations because the Lord does not want us to live among them. He doesn't want us to live among them. Keep reading.
Oh, God.
That's 12.
Lord, thy God, shall bring thee into the land, whether thou
Mm-hmm. Can you hear yourself? Maybe you turn off the microphone. You want to try this one?
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 1.
You still can hear yourself? Yeah, if you could. I don't know what's going on with it. Is it muted on there? Or anything? Okay, let's look.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 1. When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land, whether thou goest to possess it, and have cast out many nations before thee.
Right. We have cast out these many nations before us. Keep reading.
The Hittites,
That's the African tribe.
and the Girgashites,
Forgot who they were.
and the Amorites,
The Israelites, the African tribe.
and the Canaanites,
Africans.
and the Perizzites,
Parasites. Who they were.
and the Hivites,
Mhm.
and the Jebusites.
Mhm.
7 nations greater and mightier than thou.
Right.
And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them.
Right. When the Lord delivers them before us, the Lord shall smite them and utterly destroy them. That's what the Lord is saying. He's going to destroy these nations for our sake. Now, why would the Lord destroy these other races of people for us when I thought God loved everybody? Well, ain't that what that's what the Bible's about, right? God loving everybody, everybody being accepted. That's not what this is saying here. The Lord is going to destroy other races of people for the children of Israel.
Right.
That's why you Christians hate the Old Testament. You want to ignore this because it's easy for you to mistake the Spirit of God in the New Testament because of the way it's written. You don't understand it, so you can easily mistake what's saying. This right here is very clear, making it out to it's saying what it's saying. Now, don't want nobody to twist my words. The Old Testament and the New Testament are saying the same thing. It's just the way the New Testament is written. If you're not learned, you can easily now believe it's saying something different from the Old Testament. But it's not. This is why y'all avoid the Old Testament, because it contradicts your lying doctrine. If God loves everybody, why would he have these other races cast out and then he conquers and destroys them for our sake? You reading?
Now shall make no covenant with them, nor shew mercy upon them, unto them. Neither shall thou make marriages with them.
The Lord said, we shall not make any covenant with them. A covenant is an agreement. A covenant is a contract. The Lord is telling us all that peace treaties, all those sit downs. I'll give you a perfect example. What our Native American brothers did when these pilgrims came over here, when these colonizers came over here, if they were to have followed God, they would have never sat down and did these peace treaties with these colonizers, because the Lord told us not to do that. And of course, it's not hard to see why the Lord told us not to do that, because what happened when the Native Americans signed peace treaties with the white man? They broke every single one of them. See, your problem is you think you know more than God, and your ignorance and desire to love the oppressor and love, you're running towards the destruction. Go ahead, Shapak.
So I believe in the book of Maccabees, when we start out the kingdom, in wars that's what we started.
Right. You can't side with the oppressor. There's no such thing as having white allies. There's no such thing as having allies from any other race. Every race is against us, and we should separate ourselves from every race, because that's what God told us to do. The moment you make these treaties, these agreements, these little covenants, we're destroyed. Go ahead, Shapak.
Salafi. And then when after Jonathan made the treaty with Alexander, robes.
Yeah, the garment of traitors. A purple and gold robe. When he made a treaty with these oppressors, he was received a purple and gold robe. The garment of oppressors, traitors, cowards. I got you, Kira. I see your question. We're gonna get to it in just a second. I'm gonna get Nuwan breakdown for the Hispanics, and then I'm gonna get to this Malachi 3:10 as well. So y'all give me 1 second. Bear with me. I'm trying to run through it. Right. So now let's keep reading. He said, neither don't make covenants with them, neither shall we make. Go ahead, keep reading.
Thou shalt not give unto his son.
It's like a reader above that.
Oh God. Look at Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
Neither shall we make marriages with them. This is what the Lord said. And I know a lot of you on TikTok, I was don't go live on TikTok, brother, but I was like, you know what? They got me for one of my comments on my posts already. And added a strike to my page. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to risk it. I'll just go live here where I can be all the way, make sure, all the way sure that we to wild, unfiltered. But here's the thing. I see a lot of you on TikTok saying that this scripture is saying that the Lord said not to marry them because of their religion, because of their beliefs. Here's the point that you're missing, whether or not the Lord said to marry them. The point is, he said not to marry them.
Right.
That's the point everybody wants to skip over. The Lord said, don't marry these people. Don't marry these other nations. We're not allowed to. Keep reading. What's
There's no stipulation in.
Yeah.
They believe in that.
Right. That's not there. You understand? You want to put your own reason into it to try to now sway it somewhere else when that's not what this is. The Lord said, do not make marriages with them. With who? Let's find out. Let's keep reading.
Thou shalt not give unto his son.
Mm-hmm.
No, his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son.
Right. Don't give your sons and daughters to them, and don't accept their sons and daughters. You believe in your simple Christian hippie mind that your family being blended and mixed is beautiful. You think that's beautiful. You think it's excellent that you get to see some white man now come in and put children in your daughter. Or you get to see that your son come home with some white girl and put children in some oppressor's daughter. You think that's beautiful. Or you think it's beautiful that your child goes and gets some African from the motherland. You understand? You think that's beautiful. You think it's beautiful that everybody's so culturally diverse, and that's not what God wants. It's not what God likes. God is against it. You believe it's beautiful because of Christianity. It's an abomination. It's a sin. The same way God looks at two men laying down with each other, is how God looks at you laying down with the heathen. Y'all didn't see, y'all ain't understand that. If you got interracial marriage in your family, it's no different than having gay and lesbians in your family, or child molesters in your family, or family members that sleep with animals, bestiality. Like a spot. I gotta get it run down. I know you're gonna be there with it. It's no different. It's a sin. It's a sin against God, and we're not allowed to do it. And this is not specific to white people. That's for those of you that's watching. You say, "Why do you hate white people?" This has nothing to do with hating white people. I wouldn't ever touch an African woman the same way I will never touch a white woman. The same way I'll never touch an Asian, an Arab, Iranian, anybody that's not Black, Hispanic, or Native American has no place in my bed, in my house, amongst my people, because that's what God said. Go ahead,
I don't want to say what I'm saying because the Lord said about all Solomon's wives, there were white women, there were all types of women, Asian women, everything. He talking about everybody. Specifically, a bunch of Africans.
Oh yeah.
Let's you know, we are not African.
We're not African.
You can't touch it.
Yep. We're gonna get some more. Keep reading.
Verse 4. They will turn away thy son from following you.
For they will turn away your son and your daughter. And if you know this, when you talk to anybody that's in an interracial relationship, they could never honestly and truthfully speak on certain issues the way they would if they were with one of their own. And I know a lot of you may say, well, that's not true. I know my sister, she with a white man and she talk about Black problems all the time. She's for the people. You can't be for the people when you're not married to the people. You're not married to one of the people. You're not for the people. What better way to show your loyalty, your love and devotion to your people than to choose somebody from your people to be with for life? What better way to express your loyalty and devotion? You don't love your people if you don't choose one of your people to be with for life, to submit and serve, and to die for one of your people for life. And that's what marriage is. You're a Black man. If you're not if you're a Black, Hispanic, Native American, remember y'all, when I say Black, don't be ignorant. When I say Black, that encompasses Hispanic and Native American. I want to clarify that because once again, they're Black. They're the 12 tribes of Israel. So when I say Black, I hope it should be known by now that I don't have to specify Hispanic and Native American all the time. I will if I have to. I just want to make that known. When I say Black, I'm talking about all of us, 12 tribes. If you're a Black man and you don't have a Black woman as a wife, you don't love Black people.
Yeah.
Just imagine you're a Black man talking about you love Black women, but you got a white wife. Brother, you have to lay your life down for your wife. That means at any given moment, your devotion to the cause of our people can end for the sake of this heathen woman. It can't be for the people. Now you have to look out for the interests of her, and by proxy, her people. If you're a Black woman, if you're not with a Black man, you can't love the people. Because your constant life is to be in service to this man who's not of your people. Be obedient to this man that's not your people. And guess what? in a rough spot. Keep reading.
That day they served other gods. So the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroyed these servants.
Right. The Lord said, this is what happens when you take on these other nations. You take on their culture. You take on their beliefs, their ideology. And that's why on my post, if y'all get a chance to, y'all check it out, man. I ain't hate to be one of them brothers on my page. Check out the video on my TikTok page. You understand? Because UPK, no, it's TikTok. Chaazaq, Imad. Go check out the video where I interviewed my grandmother and her speaking about interracial marriage. And just go look at the comments and look at the profiles of the main people speaking against black people loving each other. Everybody take a guess. What's the main demographic of people speaking against black people loving each other? Hold on, Spot. Give me a chance. Type it in the chat. Type in the chat. What do you think is the main demographic of people that are speaking against black people loving each other? Type in the chat. What y'all for? Joe D says, when you tell black men his mixed kids are black, and that makes them think it's okay to do it. The kids are still a part of the Jews, then what's the problem? That's a good question, Joe D. That's an excellent question. I'll help. Like Dazzle said, black folks, Darius Harris, blacks. Office Glass said Esau. Over times, you can't make a whole video replying to yours. Oh, tag me in his video in the one. I did not see that. I'm waiting for anybody to tag or any post that stitches of my video. So you say he made a whole video replying to mine. Tag me in it, please. I'm addressing all that tonight. Cordell said other black people. She probably said blacks, right? Unfortunately, no. Go ahead, Shapat.
It's like y'all black had murder.
Well, that'll be the given. Those are black people that's doing it. But white women. And I charge this to you weak, low self-esteem, porn-addicted brothers. Because you lay down with these dogs and you give them every type of gumption to think that now they can speak on our issues and speak so arrogantly on our problems because they had some black rod between their legs. It's white women. And almost every single one of those white women is in a relationship with a black man. You destroy the integrity of our people when you lay down with these heathens. You got white women all up and down speaking about that this is and that, thinking they got any right to speak on black people loving each other. That's because you brothers, and this once again, interracial happens on both genders, but statistically and historically, black women have not been disloyal to black men the way black men have been to black women. Meaning, even when black men have been poor and down and out economically and just in life, sisters have still stayed with brothers. They still have chosen brothers. You understand? You see it all the time. There's sisters right now in DC that work for the government, drive nice cars, and their man is a black man with no car, no job, maybe sometimes. Understand, but she's with him. You brothers, on the other hand, you can't wait to get some money, to get a chance to leave the hood, because the moment you get up, you leave sisters behind. Brothers have been disloyal to our sisters, man. I charge you for this. Man, because you have emboldened these heathens to think that now they have a place to speak on affairs, simply because you put children in them. So now, all of a sudden, that makes them one of us. They're not one of us. I don't care how many black rods you didn't had, Becky. You're not one of us. I don't care how many black children came out between your legs. You're not one of us. And you don't have the right to speak on our community. You don't have the right to speak on our issues. You You don't have the right to speak on anything that is pertaining to your race. Brothers, stop laying down with these heathens. Sisters too, of course. I'm talking to the brothers. One, because that's mainly the brothers that's doing it, and then two, everything starts and ends with the man anyways. Everything starts and ends with the man anyways. Brothers, stop this, man. You're better than this. You're much better than to lay down and to compromise yourself with the daughters of our oppressor. You destroy the integrity of our community. That's what you do. Imagine if black men never laid down with white women. What the hell these white bras can say? When we say we gotta love each other, what claim, what do they have to them to come and say? Well, my husband is white, but I think y'all should not love each other. Your husband is white. You love your people. How come we can't love our people? But because she has a black man and black kids, she's now somehow able to speak on the issues. No, not for real. Right? Keep reading, Chaazaq. Speak this up. Let me get to these questions. These last questions. We ain't gonna go over today. We get out here on time.
Verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
But thus shall ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars and break down their images and cut down their groves and burn their graven images with fire.
This is what God told us to do. Not only are we not allowed to make marriages with them, you have to destroy their culture. Now, I'm not telling you to go physically destroy anybody's culture. You destroy their culture spiritually by never being a Christian, because that's the religion of the Caucasian. By never being a Muslim, because that's the religion of the Arab. By never being a Buddhist, because that's the religion of the Asian. By never being a what's the word? Commission or Egyptologist, because that's the religion of the Africans. You have to tear down their altars and beliefs by never laying down with them, by never believing in their false gods. Right? So now drop that. Let's get me. Boy. Yeah. We 1 Kings chapter 1, 11 and 1. If y'all haven't done so already, make sure y'all hit that like button, man. It won't take nothing from you to tap that thumbs up. And it takes nothing from you to tap the thumbs up. It doesn't require any money. It barely requires any effort. You understand? Like, share the stream, support the truth. You have to support the truth. If y'all see how hard these oppressors are coming against truth, you understand we have to go so much harder to push for the truth. Hate the truth, man. How can you be against and this is the problem. Everybody talks about how we hurt each other, how we kill each other, how the worst place for a black baby is in a black womb. Black men hurt black women. Black women hate black men. Everybody talks about our problems. But the moment we bring forth the solution, that's just too much. That's racist. That's hateful. The solution is black people must always choose each other. We must always choose us. We must always put us first. That is the solution. If you devils want black on black crime to stop, you have to let us choose us first. You understand? You have to let us be able to say, I love black people and I love black people only, because then we can stop the black on black crime. Then we can stop the abortions. Then we can stop all the things that y'all love to bring out. That's terrible in our community. But that's what you want. You like for us to be destroyed. You like for our community to be in shambles because your life profits off of that. If you're a white person or an African or some heathen, and you have a black, Hispanic, or Native American spouse, you have that spouse because we're destroyed. I want you to understand that you don't have that spouse because you're a good person, because you're full of love. You have that black spouse, or that black boyfriend or girlfriend because they're destroyed, because their people are destroyed. You could never get a black, Hispanic, or Native American if we really loved ourselves. If we really loved our people, it could never happen. You profit off of our destruction, off of our ignorance. And that's why you're so against us coming together. That's why you're so against us loving each other. Because that's how we fix our community. And in us fixing our community, your community falls. Right? Read what you got.
First Kings 11, verse 1. The King Solomon, many strange,
but King Solomon loved many strange women. Now, here's the question I want to ask all you Christians that think that God doesn't separate us. It tells us who we can love by race. Everybody type in the chat, what made these women strange? When the Bible says King Solomon loved many strange women, what made these women strange? Chappelle, you got enough for me to get two of them, Jones? I know I might need two of them. If not, just say so, brother. I can wait for the next go around.
No, going back.
You going back?
I'm going back this sir.
Okay. Yeah, I might need two of those. Chappelle came in with some soaps that look excellent. You understand? I got a soap already that's the same brand, but not specifically the ones he got, but I got the same brand. And it's excellent. It's excellent soap. You understand? I wish this brother made it himself because I would buy all of it from him. You know, just buy all my soap from them. Right? So let's find out what made these women strange. Why did the Bible call these women strange? Princess Isaiah said they were of other nations. Yes. Kawana said not our people from other nations. Yes. Joe D said strange gods. No. Black Dazzle said they were of another race. Yes. Akira said they were not Israelites or God's chosen people. Yes. And Joe D, I find it interesting that you being the only white person here said exactly what the white people on TikTok were trying to say. They said exactly what you tried to say. They tried to say that these women were strange because of their beliefs. They were strange because of their different gods. Well, let's keep reading to find out what made these women strange. Read it from the top.
Oh, God. Book of First Kings, chapter 11, verse 1. But King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh.
The daughter of Pharaoh, Egyptians.
Women of the Moabites.
Women of the Moabites. The Moabites are the Chinese.
Ammonites.
The Ammonites are the Japanese.
Edomites.
Edomites are the so-called white race.
Zidonians.
Zidonians are Africans.
And Hittites.
And Hittites are another tribe of Africans. Now, if the Bible is saying King Solomon loved strange women, and the thing that made these women strange is their false gods, how come they're not listening to any Israelite women? How can it didn't say the daughters of Judah? Because surely not all Israelites followed the law. There were Israelites that followed after these false gods.
Right.
So how come it didn't mention any Israelites that followed these false gods? Because it's not talking about their gods or their beliefs. It's talking about their race. And that's why it listed their nation that they came from. It listed their race. The Bible called these women strange because they were strangers. They were not of our nation. They were foreign. What everybody has to say today, I like my woman exotic. She foreign, exotic. Still to this day, y'all got the same fetish Solomon had and his wickedness. You want something foreign and exotic. There's a song by Cameo, and I love the song still to this day, brother. It's called She's Strange. If y'all don't know it, all the youngins out there, type it in your chat. Excuse me. When you get a chance, type it in on YouTube and listen to it. Brother, if you listen to what they're describing a white woman. They're not describing a sister. They might have a sister in the video, They're not describing a sister, brother. They're describing a white woman.
Right.
You understand? A Kim Kardashian, a whore. You understand? The cameo got song, she's strange. You understand? Right. And the brother said, and I like it. You understand? Everybody know the type of person she is, and she reached distinction. She's different. Different from what? Different from what we're used to. Like General Muhammad said, she's not a home girl. She doesn't look like your mother and your sister. She's strange. She's different. And this is what King Solomon was into. And the Lord was against it. He loved these many strange women. Keep reading.
Verse 2. Of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go in unto them.
Now, here's how you know what I just said is true. If you couldn't take my word for it just by knowing I know what the hell I'm talking about, the Bible is going to tell you in black and white. Here's how you know what made these women strange was not their beliefs. It was their race. Read that again, Shaphat.
Verse 2. Of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go in unto them.
The Bible just said, of the nations. Once again, the word we use today is race. What made these women strange is that they were of the races of people that the Lord said not to go into. King Solomon loved many strange women, and it was a sin against God. So much so that you know what happened? Does anybody know what was the result of King Solomon loving these heathen women? What was the result of King Solomon loving these white women? And these, let me name some famous ones. King Solomon loving Tim's, the singer, and loving Lucy Liu and Jeannie Mai and Kim Kardashian and Lupita Nyong'o. You know what was the result of King Solomon loving these strange women? Anybody know? Type it in the chat. What happened because of this? Joe D said, my Hebrew friend said the Chinese are deformed, the result of incest from Lot and his daughters. He said, is this true? Yes. Not just the Chinese and the Japanese, Moab and Ammon. Those are the children that came from Lot and his two daughters, Moab and Ammon. You understand? You look in old dictionary, SHALAM, you look in old encyclopedias before everything became politically correct. There's a term called Mongoloid or Mongoloidism. And Mongoloidism is what white scholars said is the reason why Chinese people look the way they look. Meaning that look that they have is not a normal look. It's a it's like that's the best way I can think of. It's a deformed. Say it again, Spot. Right. I don't want to say that because there's so that we got that among our people, and and that don't come from incest necessarily. They have a deformed look. You understand, and that comes from they're the children of Lot's daughters, and with them having incest. You understand? Mongoloidism, Mongoloid. That's where it comes from. Right. Bobby Persad said he fall. He made house of worship for them. Kira said 1 Kings 11:4 is the aftermath of his love for those women. Go ahead, Shaphat.
It's like I would say it would be like the Webster's Dictionary. The 9th edition was the last edition that had Mongoloid and
so that's the exact edition?
Yeah, come.
The 9th one?
The 9th one was the last one before they changed everything to be politically correct.
For water. You understand? Before they changed the dictionaries, you can find these words in there. You understand? But let's go to verse 4. Akira said 1 Kings 11:4 is the aftermath.
Come. But 1 Kings chapter 11 verse 4. For it came to pass when Solomon was old that his wives turned away his heart after other gods, and his heart was not perfect with the Lord his God, as was the heart of David, his father.
That's in the 4.
Come.
This is part of the aftermath. Because Solomon took on these strange women, it caused him to turn his heart away from God. That's why this is the whole point. You can't love other nations because you're going to follow after their culture. This is practical. It's not spooky. You marry a white woman, brother, you're going to start to accept them raisins being in that potato salad. I'm sorry. You're going to marry a white woman, you're going to accept the green bean casserole. Your family going to talk about it, but brother, you're going to be in there eating wonton, all type of abominable things if you marry to a Chinese woman. You marry these heathens, brother. All of a sudden, their culture doesn't seem so nasty and disgusting anymore. It starts to be more part of your life, and that's what happens. You become compromised. You understand? Because I'm married to a sister, we can talk about Chinese food and how nasty it is and how they don't wash their hands. Because I'm married to a sister, we can laugh and talk about raisins in the potato salad. But you know what you can't do if you're married to a white person? You can't do that. You got to sit there and be now cognizant that this is part of your spouse's culture. So now you can't speak against certain things you would have spoken out against before. You become compromised. It's practical. The Lord told us we can't take other races because we take on their culture. We become accepting of their gods. Next thing you know, you marry some Chinese woman, you wearing wooden sandals and practicing kung fu, and you got the Buddha, the cat with the arm, and the Buddha statue. Slowly but surely, you start to assimilate more and more to their culture and their gods. And that's what the Bible is talking about. Let me just get, for time's sake, the punishment for King Solomon loving these strange women is that our kingdom was split into two. Not while he was a king, but under his son. The Lord said he wouldn't do it while Solomon was king for the sake of King David, his father, but that he would rent the kingdom. He would split it. He would rip it underneath his son. I don't know if y'all know history. The king of the nation of Israel was the most prosperous under King Solomon's reign. It was a time of peace and prosperity. You understand? We were so rich and wealthy. That's why Queen Sheba from Ethiopia came to Israel, because she had to come here about all the stories she was hearing from all her merchants and the men that travel and sell things. And they going and telling her about all the riches and all the extravagance and glory of Israel underneath King Solomon's reign and how unified we were. His father, King David, had to go to war to try to unify these 12 tribes. And because King David went to war, King Solomon was able to reap the benefits of now having a unified nation. Everybody knows when your people are unified, you prosper. And that's what happened under King Solomon. Well, his sin of loving other races of women is the reason why Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are divided today. That's how terrible interracial marriage is. It's literally why there's a language barrier. It's literally why there's a division. It's literally why we're against each other. Let's go to Malachi 3:10 for the sister. Go ahead, Shapak.
I'm gonna look it up, but paraphrase it. It says a house divided, you know what I'm saying, shall not prosper or whatever.
That's right. A house divided can't stand.
That's from like the immediate household. You got interracial marriage, you know what I'm saying, America with the Republicans and Democrats and Israel, like you were saying, sir.
What you said is so heavy, it's manifold. You can apply it on all levels. A house divided can't stand. If the wife and husband are not in agreement, the house is going to fall. If the wife and husband are not the same nation, it's divided. No matter how much you believe y'all agree, you're of the different nation. You're divided already. You're two different nations in one household. The household can't stand. And that's why you raise confused children. I didn't get to get into that tonight. That's fine. I had some articles for you to talk about how biracial, of course, there's no such thing as biracial because you are what your father is. But what the world calls biracial or mixed, biracial children always talk about the dilemma of feeling torn between two cultures. You destroy these children when you have them with heathens, because you're automatically creating a division within them. They don't know who to identify with. They talk about not being accepted from both sides. You create so much unnecessary turmoil. Kids already got so much to go through already. And then you compound it by now you creating these children that don't know who to identify with. They don't know whose culture to accept. They don't know how much of this culture to accept and how much of this culture to accept. You create children that now they think they have to walk a fine line because they believe they're this culture and that culture. Of course, the truth helps to alleviate some of that because, of course, we know that you are what your father is. Sure. So if your father is an Israelite, to hell with your mother's culture, man. You can fully reject your mother's culture now. You're free. You're free in knowing what my father made a mistake and he took on a heathen woman. But I'm of my father. I'm an Israelite and I'm not going to make his mistake. I reject all of my mother's culture. I reject my mother's people. Of course, you love your mother. That's your mother. Love your mother. What psychopath hates their mother? But you reject your mother's culture and her people, and you choose your culture and people. And that helps alleviate a lot of the confusion and turmoil that these so-called biracial children experience. Right. So now let's get Micah 3 and 10 for the sister. Micah 3 and 10.
I said 3 and 10, sir.
Mm-hmm.
The book of Micah, chapter 3, verse 10. They build up Zion with blood and Jerusalem with iniquity.
Keep reading.
Come. Verse 11. The heads thereof judge for reward, and the priests thereof teach for hire, and the prophets thereof divine for money. Yet will they lean upon the Lord and say, it is not the Lord among us. It's like, is not the Lord among us? None evil can come upon us.
Oh, Salaki, Malachi 3 and 10. Malachi, Salaki, but Salaki. She said Malachi 3 and 10. Mm-hmm. Just so those may know, that scripture is talking about what happened in Israel. You understand? We had wicked leaders, and they caused Israel now to be perverted. They caused our land to be full of bloodshed and corruption, just like today. Right. Our communities are full of bloodshed and corruption because of these wicked leaders. The Black Caucus in government, the Christian pastors, the Black councilmen. Our leaders are why our communities are filled with corruption and bloodshed. And it was just like that right there in Micah 3 and 10. So now let's go to Malachi 3 and 10. Mm-hmm. If you haven't done so already yet, make sure you like the stream. You still can share the stream. We're about to end it, but you still can share it. More than anything, make sure you like that stream, man. Push this truth. Push this truth. Everybody has a part to play. If you're not in here physically, if you're not in here helping us do the work, the least you can do is like and share streams. That's the least you can do. And let me tell you this, man. Don't be one of those servants that when Christ returns and he pulls you up and now asks what you've done, and you say how you watch classes and you believed and all this and that, but then you never did anything to push the truth. The Lord is going to say, depart from me. Christ is going to tell you, get the hell out of my face, man. You understand? You're going to go and be low in the kingdom of heaven because you did nothing to support the prophets. Right. You know what the Bible also says? There's going to be people that's not even in the truth that's going to be saved and on them chariots. Right. Because they helped the prophets. Right. You do what you want with that information. Go ahead, Shapat.
For time's sake, I can't pull the precept, but when the scripture says when Christ, when Christ gave out the money to the one guy, yep. He buried it, right, and he didn't do nothing with it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? His reward, he's gonna get to take it from him. Yeah, you're gonna take it from him because you did nothing to push and prosper and multiply the work of the Lord.
right? She said specifically, how can it be done lawfully to the Most High, the water source? No sweat. Let's read this.
We said 3 and 10, sir.
Uh-huh.
Come. Book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 10. Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house.
Stop right there. Everybody type in the chat, what does tithes mean? What does tithes mean? If you know the Hebrew word, type the Hebrew word in the chat. If you don't know the Hebrew word, what do you think tithes mean? It's important you know this. You understand? Because Christians, of course, they pervert this and they use this to extort God's people. What does tithes mean? Meaning that the word tithes literally means something. Just like all words, they have definitions. What is the definition of tithes? Akira said Christians use this scripture every service in church, wanting clarification on doing the lawful. No sweat, sis. You're right. I grew up knowing this scripture by heart. I didn't know what it was until I just glanced at it, and I stopped reading because I know it by heart. You know why I know it by heart? Because they read this every time they started to pass around the plate. I know the scripture by heart. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, because the scripture is not wrong, but the Christians use it to extort God's people. That's right. Shapat type in the chat. Ma'ashara. That's the Hebrew word for tithes. You understand? Ma'ashara, and it means tenth in Hebrew. That's what your tithes are. It's a tenth. That's right. Akira said 1/10 of annual produce or earnings, formerly taken as a tax for support of church and clergy. All right. That word tithes, when you go into the original translation, it's ma'ashara, and ma'ashara is tenth. It means a tenth, 10%. Right? That's right, Black Dazzle, a 10th part. Go ahead. Let's keep reading, Shapat.
Come, sir. That there may be meat in mine house, and prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive.
Right. So to answer the sister's question, the way you do this lawfully, the correct way is tithes is always given to the priest. You understand? The tithes are always given to the priest. You give it to the priest by if you okay, this is how it's done now. If you're in the school, if you're not in the school, if you are able to attend a location near you physically, you would bring 10% of what you make. Meaning, when it says 10%, it's not a one-time thing. 10% of any increase you receive. So I'll give you an example. Let's say I got paid tonight. I get paid, it's $2,000. $200, I will go and grab from the ATM, put it in the envelope, and pay my tithes. $200 of that $2,000. That's correct. 200, right? Or 200. Go ahead, Shapat.
Drinks on you.
Drinks on me after the tithes, right? Let's just say I got my paycheck, my 2,000. I paid my 200. As I'm leaving the ATM, I find $20 on the ground. 2 of those dollars belong to the Lord. You understand? Anytime you get an increase, 10% of that is the Lord's portion. It belongs to the Lord. It's not yours. The way you are to do it now, if you are able to get to a location near you, an I.S.U.P.K location near you, you should bring in 10% of your increase, put it in an envelope, and hand it to the priest that's in charge in that school. That's how you put your portion. You put your name on it, the amount, the date, and you would hand it to the priest in charge that's in your school. If you're somebody that can't get to one of the I.S.U.P.K locations, you would go to our website and you would pay your increase, pay your tithes online on the website. That's how you would do it. Now, of course, in times past, a lot of Christians try to be like, a lot of people today try to be like, well, it's tithes is not money, it's corn, it's vegetables, it's asparagus and all this is beans. Here's what you don't understand. If you're a farmer, what are your crops for? If you're a farmer, what are your crops for? Now, this might be foreign to us because a lot of us didn't grow up in this environment. A lot of us didn't grow up on farms. We're detached from farm culture. Anybody that grew up on a farm knows exactly what I'm about to say. What are your crops? Even your livestock, your crops, all of it is money. You sell it. That's why they have a farmer's market where farmers bring their crops and they sell it for money. You understand? That's the purpose of it. Them living off their crops is a small portion in comparison to what they sell. Your crops, your livestock is to make money. It's to sell. So when it talks about them bringing in their livestock and their crops, that's because they were close enough to bring it in and it converts to money. You can even go to the scripture where it talks about if you're too far for the journey where your crops would spoil, you would convert the crops, get it converted to actual money. Here's the proof. You got that spot? Most High Christ, a brother on point.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 14, verse 22. Verse 23.
What is it? Akira said, I went to battle with an Edomite woman because she was trying to tell me to stop tithing to pay my bills or pay my bills first, then tithe. And I kept telling her that's not what the scripture says. That's correct. Of course, a white woman would say that because they're carnal, and Esau dwells, his whole entire existence is the dollar bill. So to them, it doesn't make sense for you to take out money for God first. You got to make sure you straight. Right. Let me tell you from experience. I've done that as a young officer, and the Lord took everything from me. My truck got repoed. I lost my slave. I had a government job, lost the government job, lost my truck. You understand? I had to borrow money from people, believing in my simplicity when times got hard, that I had to save my portion first and then God get his whenever I get mine. That's evil as hell. That is evil as hell. And the Lord is going to show you who's the author of wealth. He'll just take your resources. He'll just take it from you. It's not hard. He does it all the time. You think the Lord doesn't deserve his portion first? No sweat. You won't ever have a chance to pay tithes now. You understand? You just won't even, the Lord will make it easy for you. You're the type where you make wrong decisions. What do you do for people that make wrong decisions?
Limit their responsibility.
You take away you make the decisions for them. You limit their responsibility. The Lord will just take away the burden of choice for you. Because you can't make the right choice when you have the option, the Lord will remove the option. Don't even worry about who get theirs first. There's nothing to get. You understand? There's nothing to get. Don't even worry about who get it first. I'll help you. I'll eliminate the burden of option. There's nothing for you to even worry about. You understand? Just borrow money. Of course, I hope everybody knows you don't pay tithes on borrowed money because that's not an increase. You understand? You don't pay tithes on loans and borrowed money because you have to pay that back. You understand? So now you'll just be somebody that has to borrow money all the damn time because you can't make the right choice. Right? So Joe D said, y'all got an address to send it via mail. You can send it, Joe D, at our website. ISUPK, is it .com or .org? You sure? Yeah. Stand by on that, Joe D. Right. Bobby said, make a vow and pay it. That's right. Jody said, if you have no church, would giving it to the homeless count as tithes? No. Giving it to the homeless does not count as tithes because the purpose of tithes is not that. It's .org. Right. The water priest. Joe D, what you can do is go to ISUPK.org. And then you'll see that there's a tab for you to pay your tithes there. Joe D, because you're an Edomite, the righteous thing for Edomite to do is you should add a lot of extra. I want to say a little extra. You should add a lot of extra to that 10%, Joe D. Now that's if you're a genuine white man. You understand? If not, that's fine. I'm used to y'all not being genuine and sincere. But if you happen to be the very select few rare ones that are sincere, you should pay your 10%, Joe D, and then you should add some extra just because of who you are and the nation you live in and the benefits and privileges that you have from the destruction of God's people. Now, I'm not saying you destroyed God's people, but the reality is your people have benefited from our people's destruction. And the Lord is going to pay your people back for it. But if you really believe in God and he's coming for justice and judgment, if just me, I'm telling you what I would do if I was a white man. Brother, I'll be finding all type of avenues for mercy. You understand? I'll be finding any type of avenue as a white man for the Lord to have mercy when he returns. And of course, that's one of them, right? Flordell said, if a farmer sells his crops, do they turn in all of what they made or just 10%? So this is how it works. If you're a farmer, you would sell your crops like you normally do. And then your increase, 10% of what you made. That's simple. Like I said, if I sell all my turnip greens and I made $700 for the day selling my turnip greens, $70 belongs to the Lord. You understand? That's the whole purpose. Go ahead, read this real quick, Shabbat.
Come, sir. Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 14, verse 23. And thou shalt eat before the Lord thy God in the place which he shall choose to place his name there, the tithe of thy corn and of thy wine and of thine oil and the firstlings of thy herd.
So now we read about the corn, the wine, the oil, the firstling of the herd, right? These are none of this. They haven't mentioned nothing about money yet. Corn, wine, oil, your animals, the 10% of that. It hasn't mentioned anything about money yet. Go ahead.
And of thy flocks, that thou mayest learn to fear the Lord thy God always.
Right.
Verse 24. And if the way be too long.
And if the way be too long, what is the way? The journey, the road. You understand? If the journey to go to the priest to give your wine, your corn, your oil, and your flock, the 10% of all those things, if the journey be too long to do that, go ahead.
Be too long for thee, so that thou art not able to carry it, or if the place be too far from thee, which the Lord thy God shall choose to set his name there, when the Lord thy God hath blessed thee, then thou shalt turn it into money.
Then thou shalt turn it into what?
Money.
Into what?
Money.
Yeah. You understand? This is for all, and of course, nobody has said that tonight, but this is for those out there that may say, well, tithes is not money. Tithes is your crops. Well, where's the corn, nigga?
Right.
Where's the corn?
Right.
If you believe that, let's just see if you really believe in tithes to begin with. I have yet to see Shapat, a brother or sister who believes that bring in crops. If they really believe that, listen, I can respect a brother that really was a farmer and believed that tithes is not money. He brought in a little cow. You know what I'm saying? He got a little cow. He got a little rope he brought in. You know what I'm saying? Right. Right. We patting down the cow. He came in here with a little calf cow. He came in here with a potato sack of potatoes. You know what I'm saying? It's a bushel of this and corn. Brother, I can respect that brother because he's genuine.
Right.
I have never seen somebody that said tithes is not money come in with crops. And I probably never will see it because it's people that say that are not trying to find out what tithes is. They're trying to avoid paying tithes to begin with. You understand? Akira, I hope to answer your question. I definitely hope to answer your question. The one, what I would tell you for those that try to say the Hispanics are not our people, I would tell them there's so much you can say. Go ahead, Shapat.
It's like I got one specifically. It doesn't even have to do with the Bible. I tell them if you go back to like the Incan and the Mayan, which is ancient Latinos back in the day, and you look at their ancient artifacts, they were writing in Hebrew.
That's you definitely can go there. For those that don't believe Hispanics are of the 12 tribes of Israel, I would tell you now. Once again, this is if you think if it's even worth it. Certain things, brother, I just tell people you can believe what the hell. I'll say hell on here.
Right.
I gotta get a little bit more gritty offline. You can believe what the hell you want to believe in. Go do it. I don't give a damn. But as for me and my house, nigga, Mexicans are my niggas.
Right.
Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Guatemalans, Panamanians, Colombians, Venezuelans, they my niggas because they are niggas. You understand? And I bet not ever see you cross none of my niggas in front of me. That's how I carry it. But if you want to take a more scholarly approach, if you think it's worth it, you can. There's certain books you can go into. The Journal of Christopher Columbus, Lost Tribes of the Promised Land, the Portuguese slave trade, the Jews. I've got the name of the books. It's a bunch of books you can refer to. I got to check my list. The archaeology is there. You understand? Ask them, why did Christopher Columbus come to the New World with a Hebrew translator? You gotta ask yourself, why did Christopher Columbus come to this side of the earth with a Hebrew translator? That doesn't make sense. What's the purpose of having a Hebrew translator when you coming to meet these savages? Unless everything we were taught about Christopher Columbus is a lie. He wasn't trying to get to India or China. He wasn't trying to find spices. Maybe he read the Apocrypha and understood that the 10 lost tribes came over to this land where no man dwelt, and they've been here. Maybe he understood that, and he was looking not for spices, but for God's lost 12 tribes.
Right.
And that's why he brought a Hebrew translator, because he knew that they are the Hebrews. They're the people that speak Hebrew. Now, once again, you don't have to believe me. I'm just, maybe I'm wrong, but then you have to go say all the white scholars that wrote the books and the history and have the records are wrong too. So go ahead, Shapak.
And Salaki, if I may, it just sounds so stupid because we were taught the same thing in school and he came for spices.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Like who goes that far for spices?
Nah. No, brother. I get so angry when I look at how deep the indoctrination is. And how big the cover-up is to hide who we are. There's a reason why they teach those lies, because they have to hide. It's all attached to hiding who we are.
Right.
You have to teach Christopher Columbus was looking for China and India for spices, because if you teach that he was looking for us, now you ask him, why was he looking for us?
Right.
And how did he learn about us? What did he read about us? And then now you start to have to validate the Apocrypha. You have to go into real history. And that's why they teach so many lies. And that's the thing about anybody that's a liar out there. Some of you are liars, so you know what I'm saying is true. The moment you tell a lie, brother, you're going to be lying forever.
Right.
Because you have to continue to lie to cover the other lie. And that's what they've done. Because they tried to lie about who we are, they created an entire system built off lies. And it's crumbling. It's falling apart. Go ahead, Pastor Locke.
If we can let that lie crumble right now, they still to this day don't cook with no spices and seasoning. Today, he sailed across the world to find something that they don't use.
Forget about it. You want me to believe the people who don't use spices and seasonings took a perilous journey to find spices and seasonings? You got to play with somebody else.
Right.
I'm a grown man that pays bills, that has kids. You understand? That has wives. Play with somebody else, man. You can't sit and lie to us no more, man. Joe D said white people don't know how to season food. They were looking for spices. Right. Come on, man. Joe D, a white man, he just told y'all he know it.
Right.
Of course, it's lies. We've been lied to. Come away from the lies. What you should take away tonight, God is against interracial marriage. You're not allowed to do it. It's a sin. It's a sin. If you have family members that are already in those interracial marriages, do not tell them to leave their spouse. That's a sin. And the Lord punished a child of Israel for that sin. You understand? If they already are with the person, don't tell them to leave, but you can introduce them to the truth. You can get them to change their life. That's what I would do. I tried it with my older brother. He got 3 white baby mamas. 3 of them, brother. 3 white baby mothers. My older brother. He blocked me on Facebook. The moment I started sharing the truth, brother, he blocked me a couple years ago. I first came into the school, brother. I was going hard on him. It was going hard. And he blocked me. You understand? I hear what he posts from my other siblings, because he got me out the way. He said, I'm with these white women and you are not going to stop that. And that's fine. I'm going to continue to tell the truth, though. I ain't going to tell you to leave the women you with just because they white, because they already your ribs. But I am going to tell you God is against it, and you should stop doing it. And you should come into the truth and serve God. That I will tell you to do. But I would never tell you to leave your white rib. I would be evil in doing that. But I would be evil in not telling you never do it again and to change your life. Right? With that, we're going to pass the class over to preaching officer Sapat Dayah.
I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We the I.S.U.P.K on the slot. We are the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West 125th Street under Commander General Yahanna. New rules for brothers and sisters. When the new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They're here to share themselves with the world. After the 6 months, if a brother or sister has a particular interest in a person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, and the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. Means tenth in Hebrew, and it's pronounced ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whichever amount you would like to give. Upcoming Holy Convocation, the Lord's 55th annual Passover in Durham, North Carolina. It's April 20th and the weekend of April the 18th through the 21st of April. It's $200 for everybody, male and female, 17 years or older. And if you already have your hotel and travel arrangements prepared, you might want to book your hotels and get your travel arrangements ready. You have anything you want to put to it, sir?
You too, our warrior.
Come concert. Remind Ahmed them to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother wants to be a troop in the school, you should start wearing all black, which includes black boots, black shirts, black pants, black hairband or scarf. And with that, I say I mic him, which means to stand. Go give a courtesy salute to the teacher. Many of Israel, Imad Shabbat, Michael, Barak, Yahweh by Shimmy Shab Rakatah.
Yahweh by Shimmy Shab Rakatah.
Yad Yamatal, class dismissed.
Shalom, shalom, everybody out there. You know what I'm saying? Like and share the stream. Y'all go check out my video on TikTok, man. They mad in these comments. Y'all check out the video if you got some courage. Coming in and come battle some of these devils, man. They big mad. Right, we gone.